My name is Chris Duggan. On behalf of my colleagues on the Honorary Board of the YCLA, it's my pleasure to welcome you all here this evening to the Kimpton Seafire Resort and Spa and to the 2018 Young Caymanian Leadership Awards, where we're once again recognizing outstanding young Caymanian leadership in our community. For close to 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, the YCLA has been recognizing outstanding leadership in the Cayman Islands, and tonight is no different as we welcome another 5 incredible young leaders to the YCLA family. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our 2018 YCLA finalists. On my far right, we've got Stacey Scott, we have Samuel Young, we have Casey Mobley, we have Wilbur Welcome, and we have Miss Kimberly Connolly. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 YCLA finalists. And before we go on, we're going to get to know our finalists a little bit more, ask them a few questions. But first of all, congratulations to all of you being recognized and nominated as a YCLA finalist. It's a tremendous honor. It's a tremendous privilege. It's also a huge responsibility as you're now part of the YCLA family. And from here on in, you're going to be recognized in the community as leaders in the community, but also you'll be encouraged and expected to continue to encourage young Caymanian leadership in our community. I know tonight's a night full of nerves. I know you're all nervous. I remember a few years ago when I was in your position, but I would just encourage you all to enjoy the night, have fun. You're all incredible leaders. You've done amazing things throughout your lives and your careers, and we're going to ask you a few questions now, then you can go back, sit down, and enjoy the rest of the evening. But I think it's important that we let the audience get to know you a little bit, ask you a few questions, and then you can go and enjoy the evening. So I'm going to start the first question. It'll be the same question for all of you. As you know, the theme of this evening is It Takes a Village. And all of you, I'm sure, have been influenced in some way, shape, or form by external influences throughout your lives and as you've been going through your career. So if you can just tell us who or what is your village? Who's been your village throughout your life? And we'll start with Stacey over there.
Sure, thanks, Chris. I think I've had several different villages throughout the course of my life. First of all, starting off, I suppose, with my education, my teachers at Weston Primary School, and then Cayman Brack High School, which is now Lehman Eastcott Senior High School, and now as a professional, my colleagues at KPMG, and there are actually people from each of those villages here tonight, so thank you very much for your presence and your support. I think if I had to speak very generally, my village would be obviously my family and my friends, and then perhaps more widely Cayman Brack. So I grew up on the Brack, and it's a very, very small community, only a couple thousand people, and I think we celebrate each other's successes. One person's success is another person's, and I've been very fortunate to have an entire island really backing me my whole life. So yeah, I would say that's my village.
Great, thank you very much, Stacey. And Sam, over to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Good night, everyone. So most immediately, and I would say most intimately, would be my family, my friends, my educators. Ultimately, I think about how connected we are in this world through technology. Even right now, we're being streamed on Facebook Live. Ultimately, I feel like the world is my village.
Thank you, Sam. Well done, Sam. And over to Casey.
Thank you, Chris. Good night, everyone. I think I would answer very similarly to Samuel in saying that I believe that all of humanity is my village, and I really think that through our interconnectedness that we are accountable for one another and that there should be a requirement to support one another. I feel especially honored to have so much support in my own life, and there are a lot of people within my village that have contributed to my development and shared in me being who I am, and a lot of them are here, so thank you.
Thank you, Casey. And Wilbur.
Yes, thank you, Chris. I think similar to my colleagues, it's mainly my family, my friends, my church family. It's just the whole community as a whole is my village, from doctors to nurses, teachers, colleagues, co-workers. I mean, you name it, everybody has helped shape and mold me to who I am today.
Thank you very much, Wilbur. And last but not least, Kim.
Thank you, Chris. Good night, everyone. My village is made up of a plethora of persons, simply too long to list. However, there's two that I would like to acknowledge tonight. They both passed within 48 hours of each other this year. My godmother, Virginia Castillo, and my granduncle, Raymond Barnes. They were my disciplinary, they were my confidant, they were my shoulder, they were my crutch. And I'm sad that they're not here tonight, but in terms of my core villagers, those would be the two that I would have to name tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kim. Sorry for your losses. So the first question is out of the way. We can relax and calm down. In the rehearsal last night, one of the answers to that question was the Appleton estate. So I'm glad we've progressed a little further from that. I'm not going to mention who said that, but we've moved on. We've moved on. And anyway, the second question, it's all about leadership tonight. And I think if I asked everyone in the room tonight what their definition of leadership is, we'd probably get 300 different answers. It's a word that's often used but has so many definitions. So I'm interested to hear what our 5 finalists this evening think of leadership, what their definition of leadership is. So if you could all just tell us in a few words what your definition of leadership is. We'll start over to my right this side. Wilbur's got the microphone, so why don't we start with Wilbur? You should pass it on.
So to me, leadership is obtaining the skills, qualifications, respect, and trust of people to make them willing and wanting to follow you.
Perfect. Thank you, Wilbur. Over to Kim.
Leadership for me is the ability to unlock a person's potential by the way that you live your life, by coaching and mentoring them so that they're better persons, whether individually, personally, or professionally.
Great. Thank you, Kim. Who has the microphone? Stacy.
Passed it when I had the
You should have
chance,
done.
Chris.
You should have done.
Should have learned from Wilbur's mistake. I think leadership is several things. There's obviously the textbook definition, which most of us are more familiar with, but I think ultimately leadership or good leadership is empowering people to be the best version of themselves and to, as Kim said, unlock their full potential. I think sometimes we hesitate for various reasons to attempt things that we've been wanting to attempt, and leadership is giving someone the courage to say, you know what, why not me? Why not you? Why not us together?
Great. Thank you, Stacy. And Sam.
Thank you. So for me, I think about John Maxwell. He has a saying. He says, a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way to others.
Thank you very much. And Casey.
To me, leadership is about cultivating a lifestyle of integrity that empowers people and mobilizes people to be the best version of themselves. And I really think that that has to do with finding one's healthiest soul and having a soul that is well with yourself and with the world.
Great. So you can keep it. Thank you very much, Casey. Thank you all. So now just one last question before you get back to your seats. Growing up in the Cayman Islands, everyone who's grown up here knows that we're a country rich in heritage and culture. So growing up and even now, if you can tell us, what is your favorite part of Caymanian culture? And Casey has the microphone.
I made the same mistake as Wilbur and Stacy. My favorite aspect of Caymanian culture is, first of all, the Cayman kind hospitality that we offer and just how welcoming we are to so many different nationalities. Cayman wouldn't be the same without all of the diversity and all of the people that we embrace. And secondly, it is our resilient spirit and our history of resiliency in spite of hardships. We know that Cayman wasn't always a big tourism industry. We weren't always a huge financial sector. We had a lot of hardships in our history, and I'm really proud of how we have grown from that and how we continue to embody that resilience.
Excellent. Thank you, Casey.
So for me, I think my most favorite part of my Caymanian culture would be Cayman Thanksgiving. The reason being, I get to enjoy my mother's food, and also it's a place where my family, extended family, and friends, we're all in the same actual space, connecting together in a physical way.
Thank you, Sam. Stacey.
I think my favorite part is very similar to Casey's, the people really, and just echoing what she said earlier, we weren't always the country and the force that we are today, and it is due to our resilience, but also I think due to the fact that we were willing to help one another. So if someone went off and got an education or found a job or a trade, they came back and they shared that with someone else. And I think that says a lot about the kind of people and the kind of the character that we have here in Cayman that's still being preserved even today.
Great. Thank you, Stacey. Who's up? Who's holding the mic?
I tried to give Wilmer the mic, and he said no.
You wouldn't
thank
take it.
For me, my favorite part of Caymanian culture and heritage would have to be our tenacity, as Stacey and Casey alluded to. But the second part is the food and fellowship. When we come together as one and just enjoy the stories of turtling, roping between the islands, and how we as a small nation rise to the occasion. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Kim.
I think I'll echo what my fellow finalists have said. To me, I'm torn between the people and the food. So I don't know which one is best, but I love the people, especially when you visit someone's house and they try to ply you with food. So to me, it's a combination of the both. So it's hard to choose between the two.
Great. Well, we have a lot of both here tonight, so you're going to have a good night tonight. But thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Your work is done for the night. One of you will have one more thing to do, just a little thing to do at the end of the show. But thank you all for coming up, sharing your thoughts. You may go back to your seats. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 YCLA finalists. Go ahead. Let me help you down. Okay.